Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacconiana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home.
Today we have a really interesting little aluminum block petrol lighter that is also an advertising lighter for Miller Products Company, Des Moines, Iowa. This is a rectangular, sort of squat, a little bit wide lighter. Not the typical shape that you would normally find these aluminum block petrol lighters in, but not all that uncommon either. Has the little disc file roller. Piston spring to keep the snuffer up or down if that's where you want it. And there are two fuel screws. Really cool little lighter. Miller Products Company is still in business. I believe they have moved, I think their website said 60 miles south of Des Moines. Not actually in Des Moines anymore, but they had a little write-up there on their website about the history of the company, which has been around since the 1930s, and apparently invented the bicycle kickstand, which makes perfect sense with this little advertising graphic that you see that has been inlaid into the body of the aluminum block lighter. Shows a kickstand with a bicycle pedal along with the sprocket and part of the back wheel. This lighter had a clogged flint tube when I received it. Got that cleared out. Fueled up. And now it is a working petrol lighter. Before making this video, it was striking every time, or lighting every time that I struck it. That happens sometimes. It's a possibility that it may be suffering from a little bit of vapor lock. I did just fill it up. Give you an idea here. Remove these fuel screws. I do not know exactly about this design. How you got one tube on one side, or not tube, but one tank, a fuel screw, and then another one on the other side. So I don't know exactly that those meet up or how they meet up. Feels like there is a solid wall between them right there, so maybe there's a hole up toward the top. Really not sure. Either way, doesn't really matter. You can fuel it in either one of those tanks. And with that being so hard to start there, I think maybe I pulled that one out of the other thread. Sometimes it requires a little bit of patience with these fill screws. Definitely don't want to cross thread them. But it should not be all that difficult to start either. And that will let us take it all the way down with our thumbnail. Get the other screw started. And it looks like it'll let us take that one all the way down as well. So both of those fuel screws are threaded all the way down. That is the original wick still in it. Do have good movement from the snuffer up and down. No problem with it staying down once it gets there. And a really attractive advertisement. Really classy looking to me to have all the information and the graphic on the little disc here that is then inset where the base material of the lighter was cut out or machined out there in preparation for that advertisement. I think that is a thin sheet metal there that the advertisement is printed on. Got one pin that just goes in from one side, so no way to drive that pin out. I guess you would have to drill it out if you wanted to remove that snuffer. And we've talked before, I'm not a huge fan of these little discs. I much prefer a long roller, but this one works really well. Kind of a small lighter in your hand, a little bit like trying to use one of the small Cygnuses. It's maybe just a little bit taller, and being wider you can get a little bit better grip, but you're not going to get more than 2.5 fingers on it. But if you don't need more fingers on it, and if those 2.5 fingers are enough to keep control of the lighter as you manipulate the file roller with your thumb, then it's all good. So no brand name on the lighter. I don't see any markings anywhere on it. But the cool little advertisement for Miller Products Company of Des Moines, Iowa, that apparently is still in operation in that same region. Really cool, nostalgic lighter that somebody should be adding to their collection. Until next time.